It's like a mini Albedo E that you can have access to. So you throw this out, plop this down, and you can swap over to your other characters. Maybe throw Albedo's Elemental Burst out, swap back into like your main character. So we're going to be embracing a little bit of a meme here today. If you haven't seen the actual way to build Gorou here, haven't seen the video on the channel, do so. It's phenomenal. It's the way you need to be approaching this character. But we wanted to see just kind of how far you could kind of push a character like this, what sort of damage he can actually give you, and if you should even attempt to do that. So we're going to be giving him a lot of the cool stuff out here today. Now for a weapon selection, let's start with this. We're going to be using this thing because we got plagued with it on the banner trying to get Red Horn Stone Thresher for Noel, but we ended up with like 95 of these things. Now, if you don't have the Skyward Harp R78 or whatever, don't worry about it. There's a couple other bows you can use, and to do as much damage as possible on Gorou, you're really looking for a couple of things here. Crit rate or crit damage. So Skyward Harp has crit rate and crit damage. That's cool there. You also have access to other things like the Viridescent Hunt Bow from the Battle Pass, maybe the good old Thundering Pulse because it has crit damage on it, or like the Black Cliff War Bow because that does have crit damage on it as a secondary stat as well. But forget it, we're using this thing, 40% crit damage and 18% crit rate because it is level 70 here. The attack really doesn't matter all that much on Gorou because even when you're building him for a DPS, yes, he does have an attack scaling on his E, but don't forget his Elemental Burst is defense scaling, and he gets an Ascension that gives additional defense scaling to his E as well as his Elemental Burst. So we're focusing on defense, a little bit of geo damage, and then most importantly, crit chance. And look at these substats. We have 67 crit rate, 215 crit damage, 129 energy recharge on our support DPS Gorou here. So our artifact set we're using obviously is gonna be the Husk of Opulent Dreams, 54% defense, as well as 24% geo damage here. We're gonna be wearing a defense percent sands because we need it. We're also gonna be wearing a crit something circlet. This one's gonna be my off piece, 62 crit damage as the main stat, 13% crit rate, as well as 13% defense as well. Our goblet here, well, I've stolen all of the good geo goblets on this account in the game, but we are going to be using this defense goblet, and because he really doesn't have the greatest amount of defense, we can give him a fair amount of geo damage from his activation of his elemental skill, 50% there and 15% as well from the 2-member geo party. What is it called? The geo, what is it? Geo resonance, 30% from there as well. We have this one here, got some pretty nice substats, 12.8% crit rate, 14 crit damage, and 6 energy recharge there. Substats also are going to be crit damage, crit chance, and defense percent, with a little bit of energy recharge for the other pieces of the Husk set as well. Oh, now he is C6, so he does have a little bit of extra like reduced cooldowns on his C1 and C2, a little bit of extra levels on his Elemental Burst, Elemental Skill. He does have the AoE healing, so that's another reason to kind of run him defense goblet, even though he's trying to do damage in this build. It's going to help him out a little bit, heal a tiny amount there, right? Put a band-aid on every once in a while. Then he does have the C6, so he is going to give himself, you know, some nice 40% geo crit damage, and that's going to bump us up to 255% crit damage. And our talents here were 11 on our E and 10 on our Elemental Burst. I am kind of not ready to see what's going to happen here fully and in depth. We can do a couple world bosses, maybe a little bit of Abyss as well. Now he is going to be doing supplemental damage. He's not going to be able to hard carry because his defense as a stat, even as a 4-star stat, is pretty awful here. So let's start with a little bit of a hello, how you doing there? Burst, didn't crit, didn't plant that either. Didn't plant that either. So we have the burst up. The burst is doing like 10K, 7K. That little tiny damager, that's the burst. Okay, okay. What about the plant? 11K, oh, that was 19K. That was a 19K plant. That's not too bad. I don't actually hate that. Is it a main carry priority? Definitely not. But is it supplemental damage that can make you feel a little 16K? That's not world's worst. Ow, stop. It's world's worst compared to ALBEDO. We haven't even used Noel yet because this is a Gorou Showcase. All right, this is a Gorou Showcase. Let's find a guy here. Where are you spawning him? Who is it? Who is it? Is it you? Oh, it's you. Get this guy out of here. Come on, we want the Gorou Showcase to come back. Boom, pop this up. Oh, we need a shield. All right, come on, Gorou. Do your thing. Oh, 5K, baby. What a way to play. Show me your burst. Show me your burst. That's not bad. That's not bad. 21K activation, 19K ease, and then like 10K elemental burst like ticks against like a geo construct. That's not the worst thing I've ever seen, to be honest with you. I swear it feels like they make like every character like resist geo damage now to some extent. So we're gonna use Raiden Shogun here. We gotta get Gorou's burst back because I want to see the numbers. That's gonna hurt. All right, we might need to use Noel a little bit here in this. Okay, run. Oh God, that hurt the damage. That was damage. Gorou, where's your burst at, brother? Gorou, you're really making me sad, my dude. All right, hold on. Hold up. Gorou, we need your burst back, brother. You can't top this door. Okay. Gorou, this was terrible. This was terrible. You got him, bro. You got him, Gorou. 12K. 12K, dude. That's all he managed the entire fight. 12K, baby. No, Raiden Shogun almost died for you, my guy. Raiden Shogun almost died for you today. How does he do against like world trash enemies? How does this work? 1K. Oh, man. Does he take like reduced damage unsheathing his sword? I feel like that's a thing. All right, Gorou. Gorou, it's your time to shine, dude. Ooh, 10K? Yeah, I think he takes reduced damage. Wow. Okay, 16K, not the worst thing I've ever seen. Is it the best thing? No, 16K on a cooldown, but for like a pure support, that's not the actual worst I've seen. Bah! Okay, the 41K was not Gorou, by the way. You can believe it if you want to. That's actually ALBEDO, which these two together, that's a whole separate video if you haven't seen that one yet. Whoa, but Gorou, I mean, bah, 14K. Okay, he's looking kind of weak compared to ALBEDO, dude. All right, looking a little weak sauce. Hey, I know you're a support, dude. Hey, it's cool. Taking the limelight, okay? And yeah, he is only level 80. You could get a little bit more stats at 90, but it's not going to be something significantly insane. Let's try this floor here. What do you got for us, Gorou? Wow. Ooh, 20K, baby. That's what I'm talking about. All right, throw that up. Come on here. We got... Hey. 26. That's not bad. I mean, it's not main carry potential. It's like half of what ALBEDO can do every 2 seconds. But you know what? When we're living big, we want to drop the hammer on for 16K. This is so... Hey, actually, I don't hate it. Because if I was playing this team, like dropping everyone's skills, his burst would be coming back up. I mean, it is up already. You're throwing it back out here. It'd follow us around. Swack that dude for 15K. It's like having another little mini ALBEDO-y while that's rolling out. And I think that's the best way to kind of categorize that. It's like a mini ALBEDO-y that you can have access to. So you throw this out, plop this down, and you can swap over to your other characters. Maybe throw ALBEDO's elemental burst out, swap back into like your main carry, whether it's Ito, Noel, and you're gonna be walking around. You're gonna have ALBEDO procs, your main character doing damage, and then you're gonna have Gorou's little burst flying around as well. Dodge that. Hit these guys up, and I don't think this is going to be enough to refill Gorou's elemental burst on its own, sadly. No, he does kind of want like another energy regen thing. Very close though, very close. So that's thrown down. He's hitting for like 10K, nothing super crazy. This is floor 12, not 11. Drop that back down. Plop him with the boom hammer. Oh, there's one more. Hold on. Here. Let's let Gorou get the finishing blow. I actually don't mind the damage he's doing with this build, but for the level of investment he has, a R5 Skyward Harp, it's kind of crazy. There are some things you can enhance still. He is level 80. You could have better base defense once you get him to 90. You can level up his talents if you have constellations for him. You get him to 13 and 13. That'll help out a lot. And then his artifact selection here, we are using a defense percent goblet. We could be using a geo damage goblet, something that's similarly rolled like this, and our damage would go up because right now we just have 30% geo damage. This would add us another 56. And then he does have a little bit of extra ascension geo damage if we take him to 90, because that is his awakening stat. Right now he's at 24 because we don't have a goblet. This would be the awesome like 70% right here. And then the other 30 from his elemental skill / burst, and then the geo ×2 resonance would take us to like 100%, which would be pretty powerful, all things said and done. However, the Skyward Harp, and if you had those things, you could use something like we talked about at the beginning of the video, maybe an R1 version of this, or maybe the Viridescent Hunt, and it's a lot more investment for a tiny bit more damage to your team there, and like another mini ALBEDO to the whole thing. I wouldn't build him like this at all if you didn't have like Raiden Shogun in your party, or like the Electro Traveler either, because you're giving up the energy recharge sands. You guys saw just how hard it was to sort of make sure that his 80 cost burst was always ready to rock and roll in this build, which is what the pure support build is exceptional at doing. So check that one out if you haven't, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.